I genuinely do think that what was it? Treasure Planet
Mm-hmm.
and Atlantis was really beautiful, wonderfully done.
Oh, yeah.
And I recently watched um Beauty and the Beast, which is it's my favorite Disney princess movie. And I was looking because usually, when you look at Disney princess movies, you always kind of watch the princess in that case.
Mm-hmm.
But after my discussion with Jack, I was like, well, I'm going to just watch the Beast and how he's animated. And it's fantastic. Like the expressions that they do for him, like the body language, everything about it was fantastic. And I was like, I'm actually more impressed of how the Beast reacts to everything more so than Belle, because the way that the Beast was animated was wonderfully done. Wonderfully done. As for 3D animation, I don't know if there's like a movie that really sticks to me that's like CGI 3D animated. Oh,
Or
yes.
strictly CGI
Right.
animation. Because obviously, like, Treasure Planet's one of your favorites, but it is like a mix of both.
Yeah. Well, most at that time, that's like the Dark Ages was really just kind of like a how do you call it? Experimental stage of blending 2D and 3D animation, like the CGIs at least, which I thought was really cool. But of course, we also spoke this like a lot of CGI doesn't hold well as time progresses and stuff.
It doesn't. And
But
we've talked about this in like in person, off the
mhm.
podcast and stuff about other stuff, and just like the aging of CGI and like how a lot of it, like in regards to like practical effects versus CGI
Oh yeah,
effects, how
practical
practical
effects
effects
all the
will
way.
always hold up better than CG. But
Oh
there
yeah.
are some CG that actually ages pretty well. And I would think that Treasure Planet, I feel like we're going to talk about Treasure Planet a lot today, but
Because it's
Treasure Planet
perfect.
is one of those that its CG actually holds up fairly well.
Mhm. Like really well because it also implements like still like the 2D animation, so it doesn't you see a change obviously, but it's not like a huge change other than like those space whales. I just remember the space whales being something. But
Yeah.
everything else like was fantastic. Like the black hole was beautiful. Like everything in
Yeah.
space was just beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Fucking loved it, man. Oh, I loved it. 10 out of 10. Good movie. I really love that movie.
So
Oh, man.
you don't have like a CGI movie that really sticks out with you. Even the Avatar, was it James Cameron's Avatar doesn't really stick out to you?
Not really. If I was to think of a 3D movie, oh, geez. Like, okay, here's my thing. I do like the 3D animations and stuff. I will say How to Train Your Dragon. I'll do that because the way that they animated everything was really really well done. The characters were fantastic, like animated wise. Um but the first one, not any of the others, right? And the dragons were fucking beautiful and creative. So I say that was really good. I'm trying to think what else.
Since we're like, let's just be really honest that Pixar is usually the one uh that originally for Disney did a lot of the CG animation, and then
Right.
Disney kind of picked it up. And so I would say Disney does really, really good CG animation, but I think the
Oh, you
company
know
that
what?
holds it is actually DreamWorks, that holds like the title of being like the greatest
Passion
CG
dollar
animator
signs. Hi.
studio.
No, I agree. Um DreamWorks was really good. Okay, I will say Pixar has done better in their animation, obviously.
Mhm.
Um but I do know that DreamWorks was very good. Well, DreamWorks right now is killing it with their 2D animation too. Their shows, we were talking about like there was
Mhm.
well Voltron was I think the first one that I remember. That was a Netflix DreamWorks show. And then She-Ra was another.
Right.
But I can't think of another.
Kipo, you haven't seen it yet, but
Yes.
Kipo is a newer one as well. They've finished up their second season. I think they're in the process of working on their third season. I haven't kept up with it.
Yes, they are. I've been on
Yeah.
Twitter. Most of my Twitter is following legit like creators and animators. Like seriously, I've been following Alex Hirsch
Mhm.
from Gravity Falls because I love that. And we talked about Vivzy Pop as well.
Yes.
So there's a lot of 2D animators too, but
And they're coming back. A lot of 2D animation is coming back. But I
mhm.
would like to point out that obviously there's James Cameron's Avatar with the blue people, and it
Mhm.
is like unbelievable how well that CG
it's
animation is.
it's beautiful. And like but you can tell they put all of their money on their CG animation. Like a
Right.
lot of it. And I feel like
Which is
it's
fair.
yeah, but I don't know. It's and I think they're making a second movie as well. But
I think it's supposed to be a series of 5 movies total. And yes, they are working on a second movie.
I just wish they used a little bit more practical effects, at least with that, because they do like live action, using live action actors and such in certain scenes. I don't know. I just remember that I could tell that a lot of it was just CGI and it kind of just took me out of it, if that makes sense. It was beautiful, don't get me wrong. Absolutely stunning movie. But a lot of it took me out of the film, whereas we'll go back to Treasure Planet. The way they implemented that was really good. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If
Um
I will say though, if there was a 3D animation, I would actually stick more to video games in 3D. And like there are more 3D animated video games that I find or like, just video games in general that I find more like I hold on to more than 2D because I know doing a 2D animated video game is very hard. Cuphead is being one of them.
um so media that really sticks out with me um for 2D and 3D animation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there's so much. I'm like a huge consumer of like television, especially like kid shows and things like that. I'm a
Yeah.
huge consumer of like so sorry, movies, especially anything animated. I really like animation a lot. Um, the 3D that sticks out to me, other than James Cameron's Avatar, it's like it's good. I agree with you, but it's the story has never really been like
It's
interesting to me.
Pocahontas.
It
It's
is.
it's Pocahontas.
Yeah, yeah. Let's not even pretend that it's not. It
Yeah.
absolutely is. There is um Rise of the Guardians. That is very good, done by DreamWorks.
Yes, with the holidays and stuff.
Yes, I
Love, yep.
think the
I do like that
Tooth,
movie.
like the Tooth Fairy is amazing. I love
Mm.
her. Like I think it's a little weird that she's based off a hummingbird and not like really a fairy, but like creative license, I'll give them that.
Right,
They did a
obviously.
very good they did a very good job with creating an original look for her. I think she looks amazing. I think Jack Frost looks really good and his snow looks
Agreed.
great.
Hmm. The
I
frost is
think
so pretty.
I think Santa Claus looks great. I love the Easter Bunny. I
That was
love
very
him so
creative. I
much,
loved it. Yeah, that's a good one.
right?
And the
Um,
Sandman, because all those fucking sand particles. Oh my gosh, the
right?
fucking sand particles are so pretty.
And I like the Boogeyman. I think they did a really good job with
Oh,
the Boogeyman and
agreed.
his nightmares.
Agreed. Agreed. I 100% agree. That's a good movie. I hate
I
it that it was so underrated, but
right.
but it did grow to be a cult classic.
And I want more of that. Like I want more of that universe. I want other holidays. I want like shorts. I don't know what I just
You
want
know,
more of that. It was so good.
I really want a Day of the Dead one. Like I always think about it. I was like, can you imagine if they had like a
Oh,
sugar skull for the Day of the Dead? Oh my gosh.
yes.
Perfect.
And
Ugh.
you mentioned Day of the Dead, and it reminds me Lady Death and what's his face? I don't remember, but it was
From the Book of
not
Life?
Yes.
Ishibaba.
Shibaba, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I think that was a really good one too. I
Mm-hmm.
think that was super good. Um, but I also think it really stuck out to me because it's a cultural thing that I'm not used to. So it's
Oh,
like
right.
it's not trite, it's really fresh to me. It's really like novel to me.
Mm-hmm.
So it really stuck out to me. Um, but a 2D animation that you haven't seen, miss, and you have to see it is Redline. It is a
Yeah, I haven't seen
Japanese
it.
animation, and as far as I've been told, everything about it is hand drawn. And it is so good. It is so intense. It's so colorful. It's so good. And then obviously all Studio Ghibli movies. But
I I was about to say I actually want to take back my previous statement.
hmm?
Um, because I did say that there was not really a 3D animated media other than video games. I take it back. Speaking of DreamWorks, I do love their Tales of Arcadia series, all of it, because they did the
Yes.
fantasy and then they did the sci-fi and they did it very well animated. Everything was like very animated, just fucking great. I love those shows, like all three of them. I'm super stoked about the movie. But I will say DreamWorks, that part of DreamWorks, fucking yeah, man. Hell yeah. But I'm sorry, like that I just had to retract my previous statement and say that because we did another podcast on that as well. But yeah, no, go ahead. Sorry. I just had to be like
I was about to
clear the
say,
air.
no, you're good. Before we got wandered too far from Tales of Arcadia, let's talk about DreamWorks and their shows real quick because
They're
obviously
killing it,
I think
man.
let's see here. Kung Fu Panda was like one of their first really big ones that I remember after Shrek. After Shrek, Kung Fu Panda was the next big
Oh,
one that they did.
Shrek. Yeah.
We'll hold off on Shrek for a second.
Well, Shrek is okay. The reason why Shrek was so good is because of the writing, not necessarily
Right.
just CG, but the writing and the comedy was fantastic. But yes, keep going. Go ahead.
So there's Kung Fu Panda, and
Mm-hmm.
the CGI has remained okay. Obviously, over time, the animation has just gotten better over the movies,
Yeah,
and there's three
obviously.
movies. Um, but shortly after the first one, they released a show that aired on Nickelodeon,
Yeah,
and
I didn't like
obviously
that.
the animation quality
Dropped.
plummeted.
Oh my
It
gosh,
just
it's the frames
it,
were terrible. Everything was terrible. Everything was like I did
but
not
it make
like
it's
that.
fair. It's fair. It's a show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. It doesn't matter if it's a show. What was it?
Oh,
How to Train Your
they're
Dragon
not
also had their
gonna,
show, and it
and
was
it
wonderful.
wasn't that good
It was better.
either.
No, it was so much better than whatever Kung Fu
It was
Panda show that they
newer.
made.
It was newer.
Hmm.
So they
I
had the
stand by my
technology and they
decision.
were allowed to have a bigger budget for it. Put that aside. Putting that aside, those examples where it's like the show's quality plummets drastically compared to the movie, I'm now very excited for Tales of Arcadia because they
Oh
are
yeah.
working on a movie. Like the show's already really like the animation is really really good and I am just excited for the movie now for
Oh
the
for sure.
animation.
Oh for sure. Hell
It's
yeah.
gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good.
I'm so excited. I really am. They did really well. Or just the series. The animators, the writers. Well, writers, okay, I have some questions. But animators, you just keep doing what you're doing, boo boo. You're doing great. You're just doing fantastic. But here's the thing. This is another question. So you do hear about like Kung Fu Panda and everything. How does that hold up compared to like I guess we'll just do Disney's 2D animated movies because everyone knows 2D, like the Disney princess movies, even Lilo and Stitch, even like movies from the Dark Ages, the second Dark Ages, the classics. Why do you think those hold up better than we're going to go back to DreamWorks' 2D animated movies like El Dorado and all that stuff?
Oh, that's DreamWorks.
Oh,
I thought you
DreamWorks,
said
excuse
Pix.
me.
Yeah. Um,
Just
So I think your question had several different points to this. You were
mostly just
comparing.
comparing why Disney's 2D animation holds up better than DreamWorks. Why do you think that is? Everybody knows Disney. So what do you think it is? Is it marketing? Is it just that their animation is better?
I don't know if it's their animation is better. I think a lot of it has to do with how big Disney is. So they have. It's kind of hard to. It's hard for me because I'm bad with words. It's hard for me to describe that. Obviously, Disney's about kids, and that's where you get the money. It's like your money's where kids are.
Right.
So they're going to have stuff that focuses more on children, while DreamWorks isn't known to be for kids.
Well, yes and no. Because I forgot
It
that
didn't
DreamWorks.
used to be.
Well, DreamWorks actually did, and I forgot this until I literally pulled it up. The Prince of Egypt, and that was stunning. And that's one movie that everyone agrees has held up so well. And then they did a second movie which was awful. It was like Joseph and the his coat of many colors.
Oh,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was awful. But Prince of Egypt, that animation holds up so well. And I know everyone
I,
talks about it. Like everybody
I
talks
had
about that.
forgotten about that movie, period. And that's like has one of my favorite songs in it
Oh,
ever.
best soundtrack, such a good soundtrack, but we're not talking about music because I will go on music for that fucking movie forever, five ever. It's so
Yep.
good.
We'll have like a 5-part music
I love
conversation at
music. Oh
another
my
time.
god, I fucking love music. El Dorado, okay, El Dorado is good, but that would be like a they pushed the envelope in that. Let's just say that it's the truth. But they were DreamWorks was known for their 3D animation. I think their first one being Ants. Yes. And then they had like Sinbad, The Legend of the Seven Seas that I remembered as a kid. I loved that movie. But
It's
that
great. I love that one too. I would say that one's 2D and 3D
it is.
animation
It is.
is really when they are combined is really really rough. Um
How did I forget about Spirit? Everyone fell in love with that fucking horse. Spirit Stallion of the Cimarillon?
Cimarron.
Yeah. I forgot everybody fell in love with the fucking horse.
I
How did I
mean, if
forget
you
that?
wanna, I know we're already gonna throw hands about you keep picking on Dandy, but I'll throw hands about Spirit.
I'm just like, no, for real. Like, I'm not. I've seen that movie maybe once, full through, and don't get me wrong, it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But I just remember everyone had a crush on that fucking horse, and I'm like, why? Why did you have a crush on that horse?
I don't know why people had a crush on that horse, but I was a horse girl, so it's just like
Oh my
a
god.
movie about a horse. Hell yeah!
Oh my gosh, cringe.
So that was my obsession with it. It's like it's a horse.
It
Horse.
is a horse. Oh my gosh,
Horse.
the horse.
Oh, I like now that you mention it, I'm like, there were probably people that actually had crushes on horse.
Yeah, no. Oh yeah, for real. Ugh, fucking horse.
Mm, mm.
But
I
those
don't
are
want.
the actually those are the only four movies that they did in 2D animation. I somehow thought they did more.
I think
That's
it's
interesting.
because like it's how you're gonna win 2D animation. You gotta have your name. You gotta have Disney on your name.
True.
I I I legitimately think it's because Disney is such an old company that it's expected.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, they're not doing a lot of 2D animation stuff for cinema much anymore.
That's well, there's not they're not doing much for cinema period much anymore because of this fucking pandemic.
Yes and no, but they've done a lot of live action because what was it? Lady and the Tramp was a quote unquote live action that was
Yeah.
CGI.
Okay, all right. I really want this
Also,
to be a different topic for later, which is the actual like why Disney's live action remakes aren't holding as well because even Mulan is apparently not as great as people say. But it could be because of the controversy or the controversies, more than one, behind it. But a lot of people don't like Mulan's movie either. But we'll get to that. That has to be a different topic for a different day because I have a
That's
lot of
a,
strong opinions about that.
that's a big conversation. That may have to wait until it's free on Disney Plus because right now it's locked behind a premium access that
Yeah.
is $30, which I have opinions about as well. But again, we will get to that later.
I have a love hate
Um,
relationship with Disney. Like, oh gosh, they're
so
great, but damn. Okay.
question for you. And this actually can well, we can talk about more. Go into this further because I think I've talked to you a little bit about it at work. There is the quote unquote live action Lion King that is done completely in CG.
Mm-hmm.
Is that considered CG animation or is it
CG.
considered live action?
Well, they definitely did everything in CG. There were some things that they filmed, I think, with animals that wasn't. Wait, was it all completely CG?
I haven't seen it. People kept telling me that was really bad because it was a shot for shot
Okay, we're not
remake.
talking about the writing. We're not talking about the writing. Because, yes, it was a shot for shot writing exactly the same remake. The CG kind of took me away from it. The whole thing, okay, I will say this that I haven't quite seen in other like CG animation. So we'll say 2D, 3D, and CGI, right? 2D
Well,
and
what's the
3D.
difference between 2D and 3D? Are you
Because,
talking about like stop motion animation?
no, 2D being, oh, that's a good one. 2D being like you hand draw everything. 3D is like you use a computer like CG, but it still holds a lot of like that cartoony kind of feel, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you have stuff like CGI, which is they try to implement something as realistically as possible. Like
Okay. So you would say 3D animation would be Finding Nemo.
yes, and
Okay.
pretty much anything from Pixar. Pixar hasn't put out a 2D animated anything, but um, so yeah, right now CGI, uh, they have the potential to well, okay, 2D and 3D animation has so much potential to create worlds that you would have never ever dreamed of. We'll go back to video games. Like you have, I'm just saying this because I just read a tweet about it. Um, No Man's Sky, where you literally
Mm,
travel in space and it's continuously growing and you find these new planets and all these new creatures. Shit like that. That opens up your imagination. 2D can capture that as well, you know? 2D, you can just hand draw a completely different world, like from Shira. I forgot the fucking name of the world now.
Etheria.
Thank you. And you just create from that world and draw whatever it is you like, and the creatures are amazing and just love it. With like CGI, like The Lion King, all they try to do is take those and just make it as real as possible without using real animals, like trained animals. And I rather would have just gotten trained animals, damn it, and just animate their mouths moving or something. I don't know. Like, uh,
I don't know if you've noticed this, but like they like live action movies in general are removing animals as much as possible
yes, I
from
know. Like trained
and I
animals.
yeah, and I think that just like completely ruins a a movie that they're gonna just like have a
There's
CG animal. And like I get there are some things I'm like, you can't have like a little child sit right next to a wolf. That's like really, really dangerous. So I would get like having like camera effects and things like that where it's like you have the kid kind of interacting with something and things like that, but it's just like Well, the one with what is it, Harrison Ford? I yeah, and it's a dog. It's not like it's a wolf or like a bobcat or like anything crazy dangerous like that. I was just like, "Why?" Like, I get it. Mhm. I I feel like the older Shrek gets, I think Shrek's gonna end up getting, like, a cult following in, like, younger generations because of the bad CG animation, along with the good writing. I haven't seen that yet. Girl, you brought up Sonic, and I am, like, embarrassedly ashamed, like, why haven't we fucking talked about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse yet? Okay, okay, right, yes. Like, he had realistic facial proportions, he had realistic, like, body proportions. Ah, mm, yeah. I mean, I think I know what you're I know one of the things that you're talking about because it is in a trailer. Like, they show parts of Sonic's home world. I'm like, from the quick glimpse that you get in the trailer, it looks really good. It looks amazing. But we've been talking about movies and things like that, and you got a little bit into No Man's Sky. Let's talk about video games for a second. I think the latest thing that really has me super impressed, and I cannot wait for the sequel, is The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I haven't played it, but I know what you're talking about, that it is like, his eyes are more realistically shaped, there's, like, very detailed shadowing everywhere, kinda really detailed textures on a lot of stuff, and with Breath of the Wild, it's a bit more minimalistic. It's like, yes, you can tell that's a rock, that's actually a really detailed rock, but it's still not lifelike rock. Yes. I never played those, but I like the one I know you're talking about. I know they did this was Mortal Kombat. No, I don't remember Oregon Trail like I remember trying to play. No, wait, I think I vaguely remember. I vaguely remember what you're talking about for
I
Oregon Trail.
thank you. Like when you visit the like the towns and such, and then they're just there in that 3D animated town. Like, oh man, it was
Oh,
so 90s, and I love it. I love it. I fucking love it. Oh my gosh! And now video games are like video games are trying so hard to create that realism without making it that real, because I hate to say it. No, I'd love to say it. I much rather prefer having a 3D like character to be made maybe as realistically as possible, but not so
hyper
real that you think,
realistic.
yeah, hyper realistic. I don't like that because then it'll just remind me of the 90s. Why don't you just have a live action, like, or like an actor just act out this scene and then just put him in the world?
That's
I'm
fair.
just like, oh man, the 90s.
Another let's we've talked about 3D for a second.
Mhm.
Let's incorporate 2D for games. Um we talked about Dragon Slayer.
Dragon's Lair.
Layer, thank you.
Yeah,
Dragon's
Dragon's Lair.
Lair, um, who's done by Don Bluth,
Oh yeah.
who's amazing. This is a game where it's completely hand drawn
Yes.
and that it's not the same thing every time.
No.
You go from like scene to scene to scene and you have to like quick time react to different directions. And each of these scenes have like I think they're supposed to have like 6 to 8 different animations.
Yeah.
And
Because
it all flows together.
it was wonderful. And okay, so the Dragon's Lair was so popular, they also did 2 and 3. And it was also animated, hand drawn. So the fact that they kept that for so long actually holds up well because they did release it for PC a few years back, I think. And it was like everyone was talking about it, like that it finally came out for PC because it's such a classic. And the 2D animation holds well. People still have like the original cells that you can, like the animation cells that they would sell for a lot of money because it's fucking Don Bluth, and it's iconic in the 80s and 90s. It was such an iconic game. And then I can't think of a more iconic game in the past that was hand drawn like that. It's
Okay, I have a quick question for you. Do you know when it was released?
it was released in 1983,
Yes,
but that's only because I'm on Wikipedia.
that's fair.
um, but yes,
83. They were doing this in 83.
yeah, oh yeah. And then there's actually a Dragon's Lair 3D that I don't think looks fantastic. The 2D, it's stuff like that I'm like, stick with hand drawn animation like that because that's why it was so popular. It was just beautifully done, absolutely
And
beautifully done.
it was a challenge. The story was really good. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like repetitive.
Mm-mm.
Just because it's like there were different animations for each scene. But did you hear that they were working on a movie for Dragon's Lair? Don Bluth was working on a movie for Dragon's Lair.
No, and it never came to be.
I don't know what happened because it is again going to be all hand drawn, which takes ages to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
is a full feature length film. So I know that they were in the process of it. I know they were getting crowdfunded. I haven't really paid attention or kept up with it. I think it wouldn't surprise me if things got delayed because this is 2020 and COVID is shit.
Mhm.
Um, but I do need to follow up with that and see if they are actually going to work on it because it's Don Bluth and I need to see this. Don Bluth was the creator of The Secret of Nim,
Yeah.
um,
Nobody
Bible.
remembers is it nobody remembers Rockadoodle or
I
Thumbelina.
remember Rockadoodle. Everybody shames me for knowing Rockadoodle.
I actually have the DVD. I found it and we bought it because I was like, nobody talks about Rockadoodle. Why? It was awesome.
I
And
need
the
to come over
owl
to
was
your place and
okay.
watch it.
Like I like owls. The owl was terrifying, but I loved it.
Yes. Don Bluth. If you really like Don Bluth and you want to like see more about Don Bluth, the nostalgia critic Doug Walker did an interview with him, actually two parts. Um, and
Yes, I need to see
they
it.
talked about it. And Don Bluth has this motto that you can go as dark as you want in a show, and this like the owl is a perfect example.
Hmm.
You can go as dark as you want in kids stuff as long as it has a happy ending, and kids will be okay.
Oh, I see.
And it makes sense if you think about The Secret of Nims. That's terrifying. She comes across this scary ass owl. She comes across
Okay,
these like
the owl in The Secret of Nymph did not scare me as bad. Cuz like yeah, he had bones and such, but if because we rewatched oh my gosh.
re-
We me and my husband rewatched it. And we're like, why was everyone scared of this owl? He actually treated her with so much respect, you know, because like he wasn't even hungry. He just spoke to her and he treated her with respect. And then he left to go hunting. That was it. I was like, why was people terrified of this? But the actual, like, we're going to go back to Rockadoodle. He was legit evil. Like, he was evil as all hell. But, like,
um
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say we can talk about the owl from The Secret of Nim, but that's a tangent that we need to be mindful about.
Yeah. Because the real evil was just the farmer and the cat. Oh, the cat. That cat
And
was
did
terrifying.
did Don Bluth do Fern Gully?
I
I
don't know
think
if he did. I don't know if he did. I gotta look this up.
I
Yeah.
forgot. Like I knew this. I should have known this. Don Bluth only animates like two types of characters. Like two types, well, not two types of characters, two types of men. And so he did Thumbelina, which is my favorite movie. It is. I forgot another one that I have Don Bluth up in front of me right now. I'd forgotten another great movie that stuck out to me really amazingly. It was another space movie. It's Titan AE and it had animation and CGI. I'd forgotten that. Oh, it's so good. Which is fine because it's really dark. It can get really dark. I was about to say we all have a phase where it's like I had a phase where I tried to watch every single last Ghibli movie when I was in high school. Clearly, you had a Don Bluth phase. Mhm. A lot of people joke about that. The Land Before The Land Before Time. He really did. That was a weird one. That was my sister's favorite when she was growing up. She was obsessed with that movie. So yes.
Okay, sorry. I thought there was a film that they did, but that wasn't him. Oh gosh. Fucking yeah. Love Don Bluth. Loved it.
Mm.
Ugh,
So,
fantastic animator. Sorry, go ahead.
sorry, I got us back onto, cinema. Oh, yeah. But, mhm. There we go. Yes, Into the Spider-Verse. I am so upset with myself that I didn't list that one because you who I got a problem with that movie. I have watched that movie 8 times. I got to see it twice on the big screen. You were there for the first time. You're like, "We're gonna go watch it." It was a double date between you and your husband and mine and my husband. It was like, it's like you're like, "I've already seen it, but I'll watch it with y'all again," and I'm just like, "Oh, I" all of it. See, actually, it's I think it may have won an it won a lot of stuff, and I think it's an I think Academy and Oscars are actually the same thing. It's confirmed. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I had a coworker at my previous job, that Ricey isn't close with. I was pretty close with this coworker. She knows who it is. He said that this is the first time he's ever liked every single song on a soundtrack for a movie. Jim. He said, yeah. He said that this is the first time he has ever liked every single song on a soundtrack and that it never happened. Mm. Mhm. Ah, mhm. Yeah. Like, I uh, I can I plug something in a little bit? I think you know what I'm gonna do. But I watch this 2 of these channels on YouTube, and I have introduced Racy to these 2 channels, and they're called Cinema Wins and Cinema Sins. Cinema Sins can be really, really funny, really critiquing tropes and just a lot of stuff. One of the key things is it's just like, "Oh, directors need this character to look like an asshole. They'll have them eat an apple because apparently all assholes will eat an apple." And when you start watching a lot of this, you realize, yeah, a lot of people apparently eat apples when they're assholes or being an asshole. But then there's Cinema Win that will just pull apart a movie and dive so deep into the like finding information out about a movie. They did one for Into the Spider-Verse, and I like they will point out things that you didn't even realize the first time you watched Into the Spider-Verse. And every time I watch Into the Spider-Verse, I will immediately go and watch Cinema Win's review on Into the Spider-Verse. Every time, because every time there's something I had not paid attention to. Um, it is fantastic. I uh, I need more of that movie. I might go watch that today. Mm, yes. Go. Uh, they're great. I like since you watched it with me for the first time, like our yes, no, it's like we were like our husbands were friends before we were friends. So our husbands were sitting together and we were sitting on like the furthest away from each other while sitting next to our husband opposite ends. And I don't know if Ricey heard this, but like I was struggling with Spider Noir's voice. And I'm like, who I know this voice. It sounds so familiar. It sounds like super familiar. The credits come up and it's like Nicolas Cage, and I knocked the shit out of my husband's leg. I was so excited. I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean it's Nicolas Cage? What? It's perfect? Oh, what?" No.
Perfect. Oh
Ugh.
gosh. But yeah,
It
no.
was,
Fucking loved it.
uh,
Absolutely perfect. Oh,
um, mm, mm, it's so good. It's so good. I don't know if you actually did know that when we
I don't
watched
remember
it.
that. I just remember like the end the okay, so we're going back to animation. The ending of
Mm,
like of it was amazing. Like the credits scene. It
yes.
was so trippy as all hell. Loved it. And then of course they did the meme with the Spider-Man pointing at the other
Oh my
Spider-Man.
god, yes.
I fucking loved it. I loved that they did that. It was so good. Oh my gosh. Fantastic. I just love
Uh,
that movie. I can go on and on. But the reason why I wanted to bring Spider Man up is
yes.
because you see, like, okay, it is 2D and 3D animated. You can tell the each versions. But have you seen Klaus? It's a Christmas movie that
I
premiered on Netflix.
I did watch it, and I did tell you about it. I'm like, it's pretty, it's impressive. It was very interesting how they took a Santa Claus story and kind of made it original and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I will have to admit to you and all of our audience, I don't really care for Christmas movies.
That's fine.
I really don't.
We're not just talking about just Christmas movies in general. The reason why I bring it up is because we're talking about the animation in that movie, okay?
Yeah.
Everyone was talking about it's 3D animated. It's 3D animated, all of that. It's not. It's all of it is 2D animated, hand-drawn animation. All of it. And
Excuse you. What?
wait, what? Oh, is it your
What?
cat? Wait,
No,
didn't.
you. What do you mean it's 3D or 2D animation?
Yeah, that I kid you not. So when everyone was talking about Klaus, everyone on Twitter was blowing up about it. I remember I saw one of the artists because there were so many complaints. They're like, oh my gosh, another 3D animation movie. They're like, actually, no, it's completely hand drawn animated. Like they used a computer to make it look like it's a painting, but it's 2D animated. I will send it to you. I kid you not. It's 2D animation. And nobody believed it. Nobody. And they're like, what? If it wasn't for the artist showing their work of how it was created, nobody would have believed it. But it is 2D animated. No lie. Wrap your head around that. I was just like, yeah, I'm sending it to you on Twitter just so you can see the tweet and the process and how it was created. Because I didn't believe it until I actually saw that myself. Are you dead?
A little.
Oh
But
my gosh.
I do want to, and I keep trying to get you to watch this, and I'm a terrible person, but I'll have you watch it one day. I would like to also bring up Star Wars Clone Wars, the series, the CG animated series, because
Oh,
there's
yes.
Star Wars Clone Wars, which is episode 2, and the saga. Then there is Star Wars Clone Wars, that is 2D hand-drawn animation done by Gendy Tartakovsky, who is the same guy that did Samurai Jack, which we might need to bring up as well because Samurai Jack the final season, oh my god. Which are like little 5-minute shorts and things. And then there is Star Wars The Clone Wars CG animation. And oh my god. I think it was like 2009 when it was released.
Okay.
First. So you can imagine that the CG is. It's actually the first episode was October 3rd of 2008. So you can imagine that the animation wasn't the most beautiful thing ever, but it was actually still really good for something from 2008. It still had some perks, it had some great moments. And as it progressed through seasons 1 through 6, which ended in 2014, and then Disney created season 7, the final season, in 2020 and released it. So you can see like the improvement from the first season to the last episode of season 6. There are moments in this, I think it was like season 3 or season 4, that it is just beautiful. Like there is no right for a kids animation show on TV to be this good. It is.
Oh man.
No, like girl, like this is why I want you to watch it. I'm like, we can ignore all the politics, we can ignore all the war stuff. There are just moments where it is beautiful. And then season 7 comes along, and like my husband could not get me to shut up about season 7. I'm like, it's beautiful, it's amazing. The lighting, there's like a gradient in the light and shadow. It's like so good. And you've like poor Ricey, she puts up with me so much at work where it's just like while we were watching Clone Wars, I'd come in like, Girl, it last night. Oh my god. She's like, Emily. Yes. Okay.
I see.
Put up
Go ahead.
put up with me so much.
Okay, so just like you said, you're not one for Christmas movies.
Yes.
I, 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 I'm okay with what do you call it?
Are we talking about Star
Star
Wars? Or are we
Wars.
talking
Yes,
about
Star
there
Wars.
we go.
So I like Star Wars, but I am not like obsessed to the point like you or your husband or my husband is, right?
I will admit that I wasn't like a huge Star Wars fan. I was a I was a Star Wars fan by birth. My dad is a huge Star Wars fan, so I'm just like I'm a Star Wars fan by association.
Right. So
Until I got into Clone.
gotcha. I sent you the tweet. And it literally says, for those who can't believe that Netflix Klaus movie is animated in 2D by Spa Studios. And I'm rewatching. It's legit. It's 2D animation. You just got to check it out. And like, it's crazy. Because everyone else is like, it's hard to believe. And everyone thought it was just 3D animated, but it's not. Sorry. But yeah, speaking of, I guess we can talk about like shows again. I know you were speaking of like Clone Wars and such.
So
but
pretty.
It's really pretty, isn't it? It's so pretty. And you just like, unless you saw that, like, unless I saw that, I wouldn't have believed it. But yeah, it's 2D animated. Complete movie is 2D animated. And you can only imagine the hard work that it goes through that. Speaking of hard work,
Yes.
I also want to point out that, what is it? Cuphead is completely 2D animated, hand drawn. Sure, it took forever. And I know you haven't played Cuphead. But if you read,
I've seen Cuphead. Yeah,
yes,
I've seen parts of it.
and it has that old rubber hose animation, which I want to use to segue into how else do you think 2D animation could be implemented? Because, like, you have movies that now 2D animation can look like 3D animation. Klaus is one of those examples. And then you have a medium, video games, where you don't think that 2D animation would hold well. But Cuphead and I think Spiritfarer is now a part of that. Because it's like hand-drawn gorgeousness. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And well done.
So you're asking about gaming, or are you talking about
in general.
media? Okay.
And just media in general. How do you think 2D animation could push the envelope? Because we can see how much 3D and CGI can push the envelope, but do you think that 2D will continue to push? Because everyone's like, oh no, 2D animation is a dying art and whatever. Pshaw. If you've ever
Yes
seen any
and
of the...
no.
Okay. What do you think are the
Because it's
restrictions?
like you're right. It's like people are saying that 2D animation is dying, and it is kind of dying.
I don't believe that,
Because
but I'll get back into that.
like okay, so there's the difference between hand-drawn animation and then computer-generated animation.
Mm-hmm.
And 2D animation can be like done on a computer.
Mm-hmm.
So hand-drawn and 2D animation is kind of a dying art because it takes so much more time. With CG animation and 3D animation, a lot of it's like drag and pose, and then you'll capture that and you'll drag and reposition to capture the next. Like, still, because that's what animation is. It's just how we get movement is this variation and changes in each image.
Okay.
It's hard to say because that takes with hand-drawn animation, you have to draw each thing individually.
Right.
Like, one of the funniest things to look at in 2D animation, let's say, what is it? Atlantis, because that's the thing that can pop into my head the clearest right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is you'll have these very dramatic faces. Let's say when um Milo gets punched in the stomach at one point, or something gets thrown into his stomach, and he has a very dramatic expression. That expression has to be drawn. So you go from a normal face to a very extreme face and then back to a normal face. You're you don't really see that so much animation or expression in CG or 3D animation. And yeah, that's fair, but it is one of those things that's like all of that has to be drawn. And that takes time, that takes skill, and a lot of problems with today's society is we don't want to pay for the skill work. We want the quickest, if that makes sense. Okay. Okay. Oh, yes, easy. It's easy to use Disney because they have both CG and 2D animation. Hmm. Okay. It it also allows with that, continuing on your point, is that they had the movie in CG and then they did the show in 2D or hand drawn animation, and I think that causes it to hold up better and will age better because if you, like you mentioned, if you look at Kung Fu Panda or even if you look at Jimmy Neutron, and I don't want to go look at Jimmy Neutron, that would probably scare me. They're not gonna they're not gonna hold up for the shows anyway. So like Steven Universe, not Steven Universe future. Okay, guess we're good. Okay, yeah. Mhm. The Legend of Korra. Yeah. Well, it also was pulled from television and it was exclusively online because it got very not child friendly very quickly. Yes. 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 Abs well, I remember, like, my dad has told me, and I remember my dad watching a lot of animation stuff with us growing up. He'd watch, like, Animaniacs, he'd watch Batman the Animated Series with us. He would what else did we watch? We watched The Magician, which was, I think, a French animation show that came over to America. Um, would watch stuff with us because he enjoyed animation. Yeah, he's a Batman nerd, and so that didn't hurt at all, but he enjoyed watching animation with us. So I just think we're a louder millennials. I would like to see, and I don't know if it's ever gonna happen because it's a very, I guess, niche audience. Um, what I would like to see is another Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Not like not a sequel, but it's like I want something like that again, where we have very good 2D animation and hand drawn because of its time period. Um, Hand drawn animation interacting very cleanly with live action. I Mhm, mhm. Oh, is that the one with Brad Pitt? Oh my god, I've never seen it. I've never seen it, but I have seen ugh, I I think Nostalgia Critic also did a review on that one. I That's how I think I know about this show. Ooh, I ugh, mm, and it doesn't have to be, like, adult like that. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing, like, something for a kid show. Like, how how people like, how Jim Henson movies and shows interact with Muppets and puppets. I'd like to see that with 2D animation. Does that make sense? But also, I want more Jim Henson stuff. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, Falls. Gravity Falls. Oh my god. Oh, uh, that was, like, a kind of what I was talking about, but it's like, I would like to they did keep it very separate, and I think they actually did like, the animation for it's, like, really good, and the story for it overall is not terrible. Ooh, yes. Oh, I think I may know who he animated in Sinbad. I think I think it's, like, what's her face? Not Calypso. Yes. I couldn't remember what her name is, but Eris. I'm pretty if you're telling me about how fluid his stuff is, I bet you anything he animated Eris. Ugh, becoming a fangirl. It sounds like huh. We're coming up on an hour and a half, so we may need to pump the brakes about going further and consider wrapping up. Mm, are you? I was about to say, this is my question. Are you really sorry? Doesn't sound like it. Let me watch you paint. um, no, I'm with you. I'm like, I now need to go watch Titan AE. I need to go watch Thumbelina. Like,
You
I need
gotta
to go
rewatch
watch.
all of the old Don Bluth films for sure.
Right, yes. Actually, my sister a couple years ago gave me Thumbelina on DVD
Did
because you
she
remember that
really?
was my huh?
I was like, did she really? That's
She
amazing.
did. She did. So I'm like, I need to go watch that. I really need to go watch that because I'm like, I need that hella fabulous frog.
Oh, I love her. Yes, I love her. Who wants
Um,
Thumbelina to marry her son? This is my
Ah,
son. This is like, this is my son. I love her so much.
so like I feel like I know what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of the weekend. So hmm, I think we covered a lot of things,
I
but
think so. Okay, so what? Here's one. What is one animated movie, or any piece of media actually, that you're excited to see in the coming years? We've
oh
already.
my god, I I already got that. I know, like, okay, so for CG animation, because that's kind of what everything's leaning towards, I am hella excited for Into the Spider-Verse. Like, I
Yeah, I was about to
cannot.
say, we were talking about it earlier. The second movie of Enter the Spider Verse, obviously, super stoked on that.
And for game, Breath of the Wild 2. I'm
Oh yeah.
so excited. I'm very excited. I'm like,
So I think I'm excited for in the future. I would say TV show. Just give me more Owl House, please.
fair.
I love it. Just give me a very good, insightful piece of adult animation. Like, I get that a lot of the adult animation we have is comedy because we love self-deprecating humor or like just comedy to
Yeah.
ease our struggles. But if they have some really good piece of adult animation, I just not just comedy driven, if that makes sense. Like, give us an adventure or something. Give us El Dorado, but for adults, if that makes any sense. Like, come on, give us something like that. I'd love that.
Fair.
Um,
I would like to point out, as for a series, not just a movie, I'm very cautiously excited for Hazbin Hotel.
Cautiously excited is a good way to say it. That is adult animation, for sure.
It is.
I
It
wonder if
is.
it's and
So,
it looks like it might be not just comedy driven. It's going to be very interesting to see how it's going to turn out. To be honest.
really so. Oh, I would like to point out a lot of this is like mainstream stuff. Like gaming is mainstream. Like
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild is Nintendo. Um, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is Sony. It's like Marvel. It's like it semi-associated with Disney. So we got Has Been Hotel that got picked up by A24, and
Yep.
it's going to be a series and all this stuff, and we got stuff on Netflix. I would like to point out that I am excited. Like, I can agree with you now that 2D animation or hand-drawn animation is not dead because there is a very, very large community, I guess is the best term
Oh
for it,
yeah.
on
Oh
YouTube
yeah.
of everything. And what I'm excited for that I almost forgot is Mystery Ben's animation and continuation of his little AMVs, fan drawn AMVs for Mystery
Oh
Skulls.
yeah. The Mystery Skulls
And he's
actually released a new album, or is going to be releasing a new album. So I guarantee you, it's gonna continue for
no,
sure.
it's already confirmed that the story is going to be around 7 videos long. So we already have 3, so we're
Oh
still
wow.
projecting about 4 more.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, again, his name's Mystery Bins. The music is Mystery Skulls. Y'all need to check it out. It's
Oh
amazing.
yeah.
It's very good.
Also very well animated as well. Like, oh my gosh,
Absolutely.
so fucking done. And it's smooth. Everything about it's
Oh,
oh, so good. And now he has a team, that he
yes.
works with.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So good.
Yes.
All right. Well, I guess that's a good way to end it. Is our beautiful hopes for the future. I really hope, like I said, I don't think
Looking
2D,
past 2020.
yeah, I really do think that 2D animation is not going to die. And I think 3D animation is going to just get better. Um, and I hope it gets to the point where maybe there's something in 3D animation or CGI that we can just look and say, this is it. I don't think it can get like any worse from here. This is as close to realism as we can get, without taking away the I guess, the imagination of what we could possibly use for it. You know what I mean? I know it's hard to kind of convey in words, but I'm going to go back to Treasure Planet because we started with Treasure Planet. How they created these monsters, these characters, this whole world in space in a way that they think it would look, you know? And I hope that they just make it as close to real as possible so that if we ever do VR and we can just go in virtual reality and be like, oh, so this is what it looks like.
So
That's
what
what I
I'm
also hope
hearing
for.
is that you want to be in a VR chat that is just Treasure Planet. That's all I'm
Yes.
hearing.
Take me to space. That's all I want. Just fucking space, man. That's all I want is space. Anyway, yeah. Oh shit. Sorry about that. That will be it for us, I think. Any other final words or anything? I thought this was a really good topic. And I'm sorry I went fangirly there for a second. And I guarantee you I'm going to watch some of his animation because I'm curious. But anyway, oh my God. Sorry. I just researched. He actually animated Belle from Beauty and the Beast. All right. Enough. James Baxter facts. I'm done.
Okay, we got to cut us off. We got to cut us off,
Okay, yeah,
Gracie.
just
We gotta
like,
cut
but
us
just
off.
letting you know, he's the one who animated Belle. Maybe that's why I love her so much. Okay, all right, bye.
Gracie, we can't end like this.
I know, I'm sorry. I was just like, oh my gosh, the things that he's done. It's the things that
Right.
he's done. I'm sorry. Okay, fangirling.
Fangirl. Okay. Let me wrap
Um,
up since you're just gonna keep gushing about
I
him, little
am.
fangirl.
I didn't think he was such a big part of my childhood, but here he is, a big part of my childhood. Uh, we will
All
be
right.
doing this
Here we
again
go.
next week. Hold on. We will be doing this again next week, Saturday at 1. Hopefully we'll just sorry about the past 2 weekends. We were kind of just off track. I had a lot of family stuff going on. But we will be back on Saturday. I don't know what topic we'll be talking about, but I'm sure it'll come easy to us. We talk about a lot of things.
I was about to say this was an impromptu topic. Kinda.
It started with a question for my husband, and it ended up like this. So yeah. Great job.
But if y'all have a topic that we're familiar with and want to suggest and see what our opinion is, you're always welcome to let us know.
Yeah, just give us a chat, DM. Is that how it works?
Yep.
Yeah. And let us know if there's anything you would like us to talk about. Or your opinions on anything at all. All right?
Like yourself.
Yeah. I guess you guys have a great week. We will see you again next week this time. And just enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one, guys. Bye.